the time. No, I don't really hide my fandom with wrestling. Not so
So like
much.
which ones? Which shirts would you wear?
What did I have? I definitely had an NWO shirt. I was wearing that just last year. Like there was a time kasi nauso din like vintage
Yeah.
shirt. So I was trying to look for the vintage NWO shirt. I think I had the Stone Cold and the Stone Cold shirt with his arms as rattlesnakes.
Yeah, that's a classic one.
I had that one, yeah, for sure. But when I was a kid, I had all those, all the DX shirts, all the Stone Cold shirts back then. Just to go to Green Hills to buy them. They weren't the original
Yes.
ones, but I had to make my way to Green Hills and have my mom buy me all those shirts back then.
That's the best. Shout out to mga batang Green Hills. I was one of those
Wow.
kids. So yeah.
Ah,
Like,
really?
nawala yung wrestling shirts.
Dun yun diba?
Yeah.
Dati Green Hills talaga.
And my heart broke when they stopped selling wrestling shirts in Green Hills.
No, my toys I used to buy in the store called Best. There was a toy store in Green Hills called Best. All my toys, I got it from there. That was the place to get wrestling toys for sure.
I remember that. I remember that store, and they still do have a few stores that cater to wrestling fans. But
Wrestling toys, huh?
yeah, best was one of those places, man.
Who makes the action figures now? Do you know which brand makes
It's
it?
Mattel.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, nice.
We've got a question off the comment section from Jackie who asks, what does Kylie Versosa think about your wrestling fandom?
She's right here. She's working out in front of me. What do you think about my wrestling fandom? She's listening down. No, she'd go to the room sometimes and say, "What are you watching?" So I'm watching wrestling. She'd watch UFC with me. She'd watch UFC and she'd watch football or Formula One with me. But wrestling, she gives me my alone time when I'm watching wrestling.
Hey, as long as it's walang basagan ng trip.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not.
Wrestling I have to watch in the room, in the living room when she's here now. No wrestling for her.
You talked about your love for UFC and MMA as well, and there's this stereotype about the MMA guy who takes a shit on the wrestling fan. Na parang, oh, that's fake shit, bro. What do you think about that take from the MMA community as someone who is immersed in both?
No, like for me, I can segregate the two. Like I can definitely segregate. I'm a diehard MMA fan. Like I watch UFC every weekend. Like I'm super up to date also with UFC. But yeah, it is a bit cringy for me when some MMA guys kind of bring it to UFC. Like let's say like Colby Covington when he's trying to do it. But I really like it when these MMA guys go to wrestling. Now, like let's say Ronda Rousey when she went to wrestling, I kind of like that. Bobby Lashley now, he's in there. I like that. Because parang kind of believe na you have this, when you're watching them in the ring doing wrestling, you have a feeling that they're going to dominate everyone. They're going to wash everyone like what Brock Lesnar did, right? I don't like it when they try to do the wrestling gimmick in MMA. But I really don't like it when they make the crossover. Like, let's say, I'm hoping Daniel Cormier goes to WWE when he retires. Like, I'm hoping for that.
So, are you not a fan of Chael Sonnen's interview style?
I like Chael Sonnen because he was the first guy to do it. But when other people were trying to do it, it felt like they were just knocking him off. For me, but when Chael was doing it, like the whole time he was against Anderson Silva and all the Brazilian guys, I liked it because I'd never seen it in MMA that time. But now, like when other guys do it and then it falls flat, like I kind of like, it's not. It doesn't work. Like there's a standard. Like for me with MMA, like the problem is they can't talk if they're talking trash, right? And then they lose, their credibility is all gone. You know, that's the thing with MMA. That's why Conor McGregor is so special, and like Jorge Masvidal is so special because they can talk and still like win fights incredibly and kind of really do what they say, right? But when other people talk so much trash and then they lose and then they become nice all of a sudden, then I'm kind of like, wow, that was all just a gimmick. It was a lie. Like that's how I feel about it when they do it in MMA.
Yeah, you mentioned Jorge Masvidal. He was in the bad mother effer
DMF.
The BMF match with Ben
Motherfucker in the
Askren.
game.
Yeah, with Ben Askren, right? And they were just talking all sorts of trash against each other. Just
Yeah.
just next level trash talking until, of course, what happened, and it was just a perfect example of what you just said.
Like Ben Askren was talking such a big game.
Yeah,
A big game. And then he got knocked out in 5 seconds. Although with Ben Askren though, he's a good loser though, because he didn't shy away from all the bashing he got from on Twitter, or like he didn't shy away from all those things. He rode with it. And it's still pretty funny, the stuff that he tweets about it. Like he still says to Jorge Masvidal, I made you famous by getting knocked out in 5 seconds.
I like how the first thing he tweeted after the knockout was, "Well, that didn't go as planned."
Yeah, that sucks. I remember that one. Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of successful crossovers between MMA and pro wrestling, but on the flip side, over the last few years, we've also seen yung mga not as successful. So to contrast with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler and Brock Lesnar, you also have the likes of Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. So what do you think about kunwari yung mga MMA fighters who transition to pro wrestling but aren't as successful as the Rondas and the Shaynas of the world?
The guy who wears flip flops, who's the guy with long
Matt Riddle.
Yeah, he's from
Matt
UFC.
Riddle.
He used to be an MMA fighter too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I can understand that it's difficult now, because parang like with wrestling now, when you hear the podcasts like with Stone Cold and everyone, they really had like the creative freedom to bring where the characters wherever that they wanted to bring it, right? They were allowed to do that. But now with the wrestling, they really stick to the script. It's like they can't go off script so much. So I just hadn't seen anyone in wrestling recently who's really succeeded. Like has gotten over and become a superstar, like from scratch. So I mean also with the MMA guys, because like before Bobby Lashley, when he was in TNA, he was becoming really big there. And then when you bring him to WWE, this is something that goes wrong right now with WWE. For some reason, like for some of the wrestlers. Like with AJ, it's just normal for him to really just become, he just had to be him. And then he was just naturally gifted with all those talents. It's impossible that guy won't succeed. But with some of the wrestlers now, if you notice, like there's not anyone who's really getting over like how the wrestlers used to get over before. Like, I mean, am I wrong though? Like, I mean,
No, you're not. Those are all valid points. And it doesn't help na wala ring tao sa audience ngayon. So there's really no concrete reaction na is this working? Is this not working?
Right. Yeah. I mean, but yeah. I mean, like at least with Drew McIntyre, you can really see that. Man, I'm actually super proud of that guy. Imagine what he went through. Like he had a stable, right? It was him, Jinder Mahal, and Heath Slater, and they were just a comedy side act, right, for the longest time. And true enough, two of them became champions. Like two of them became world champions. So I'm kind of happy for Drew McIntyre. That he's kind of like he's made it there. You know, he's made a successful comeback to the WWE.
At this point, we're going to transition into a fun little segment we do with our guests. And since you are a fan of Triple H, I think it's only right that we say it's time to play the game. So let me turn it over to Chino Liao, who is our resident game master on the Wrestling podcast.
All right, so it's an easy enough game, guys. It's an easy enough game. It's category. Yeah, kasama kayo.
Okay, kasali pa kami.
Kala ko for Jake lang. Kasama kami. Okay.
No, it's for all three of you guys. As we
right.
always do. And it's easy enough. I'm going to give out a category, and you guys will take turns giving out one thing from said category. If you make a mistake, you're out. It's that simple. Last man standing. And this week's category is actually very, very related to your field of work, Jake, because I need you guys to name me movies that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has appeared in.
Ooh. Now?
Until 2019. Yeah, until 2019, okay? So,
2019 lang?
Yeah, until 2019 lang.
Do we take turns?
Yeah, we'll take turns.
Yes,
I will cue you guys, starting off with our guest, Jake. You can start.
Jumanji.
Which one?
The new Okay, Fast and the Furious then. Fast and the Furious. Hobbs and Shaw. There.
Hobbs and Shaw. All right. That counts. Okay. Stan.
Scorpion King.
All right. Okay. Ro.
The Game Plan.
All right. Okay. Back to Jake.
Gridiron Gang.
Yes. Stan.
Walking Tall.
Okay. Ro.
Fast 8.
Okay. Yes.
Yung title na yun, ba?
Yeah. Fast 8.
Yes.
Yeah. Jake.
Jeez, I'm running out. The Mummy. No, they said it already. Sorry, Kyrie was helping me out. Ah,
Help you out.
that movie with Sean William Scott. I forgot the name of that movie. Baywatch. There.
Okay. Yes. Stan.
The Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, dude, fair.
Okay. Ro.
Furious 7.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Jake.
Furious 6. Pwede mo ba? Abot mo ba yung Furious 6?
Yes.
Oh, abot yan.
Yes, alright.
Stan.
Moana.
Okay.
Man,
Whoa.
oh shit. Get Smart.
What?
That was him, right? Get Smart?
Oh,
That wasn't him?
Smart. Yeah,
Get Smart. Yeah.
I just read smart, so kala ko yung cellphone. Anyway, back to Jake.
I'm out, man. I'm out.
You need...
Wait. Skyscraper.
Yes. Okay. See?
Crap. Yung San something. Is it San Francisco or San whatever it is?
I'm not...
Hindi ko malina po. I'm tapping out.
Okay, it's San Andreas.
I am tapping out.
No, I was gonna say that.
Crap.
Oh, you want it to be yours? I can still make that rule.
Yeah. San
Yeah,
Andreas.
San Andreas. Okay. Jake.
Oh, what were the... Well, the changeover. No, I'm out, man. I tap. I'm out.
You tapping out? You tapping
I'm
out?
out.
Okay.
I'm out.
Romoran takes it again.
Kyrie tried to help me out, but
Yeah.
I didn't beat this, guys.
Romoran also won last week. You missed a bunch of movies, guys. It's been,
Yeah, the boss.
Sige, ano yung mga super popular that we missed?
Fast 5.
You know, got one more.
Retaliation. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. That was the first one. Jumanji, The Next Level. That was the second one.
That's good, though.
There was The Mummy. The Mummy Returns. He was in that one. That was actually his first
Right.
movie.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other smaller, lesser-known fare. The other guys, you have Race to Witch Mountain, Snitch.
I Joe though.
Had Ballers, diba? Well, that
Ballers.
Ballers is a TV series, so
TV
hindi
show.
ka sinawa. So, but congratulations, Ro. Anyway, yeah, that was the game.
Yeah. Gridiron Gang.
We got a
was
question.
great.
We got a
I was
question
surprised
from
you got
That was a good movie. He was good in that movie.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like one of those, I was looking for somebody to pick a sleeper hit, like to say one of those movies that wasn't
Yeah.
really popular, and you got Gridiron Gang. So bonus points yun, I guess.
That was a good movie. He did really good work in that.
Yeah,
That was
right?
a drama, diba?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
drama.
keep it, as his assistant coach.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a good one.
All right, we
Sorry,
have a
Ro, you had the question from the comment section.
Yeah. From the
Okay.
comment section of Facebook. Jake, sino raw mananalo in a triple threat between Palos, Elias Paniki, and Banal na Aso? If they had a triple threat.
I think Palos would win that one for sure. Palos. Palos would be the one. Or Elias Panite. Baka Palos for me.
Yung prize.
Here's another one.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask about entrance music because every wrestling fan has their favorite entrance music. So if you had to pick yours from the existing entrance themes in all of wrestling, what would your theme be?
Man, wow.
or like an original song that you like.
Oh,
a song.
yeah. Kahit anong song. Kahit
Ay,
Ay,
anong song.
pwede rin.
No, for me, like I'm gonna choose a wrestling song for sure. Um, the King of Kings. That that entrance of Triple H when he goes down, the King of Kings. That one.
Yes,
I don't
the
know.
alternate.
There's just something about wrestling and Motorhead that just go hand in hand. When it's Motorhead, when it's Triple H's stuff, like for me, Triple H has the best entrances ever in WrestleMania. Yet he's never won any of it. Right? He goes with the best entrance ever, always loses WrestleMania. For sure. That's his thing.
What's your favorite from all the Triple H entrances? Kasi they've all been epic. You're absolutely right. So if you could pick one na ma-immortalize mo on like a hologram or whatever, which one would it be?
The King of Kings is like my favorite, but the Terminator one was really, really good too. The
Right.
Terminator entrance
34.
when he came up with the Terminators, that for me was one of the best ones. For sure. That's my favorite one, That's my favorite one.
How about in terms of matches? What's your favorite match of all time? Na if let's say your nephew got back into wrestling again, or you're trying to convert someone into the fandom, you'd show them that match.
Man, the time for me, the best matches of all time was the era of the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys. Those were the best matches ever.
Attitude
For
Era.
me, like that, the value of the tag team championships too at that time. Now, parang like it's just not even. It doesn't even come close anymore. But remember that the tag team championships they were so prestigious back then. Like when the Hardy Boys used to carry those, Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys. I don't know. Like for me, if I was to watch like matches, if I was gonna go back and watch matches now, like the best matches for me, that era, that time of the tag team championships, that's golden for me. Those were the
As
best
an Edge fan, that makes me very happy. I just gotta say.
I love Edge. Rated R, yeah, Rated R superstar. Yeah, for sure. Edge is the
Let's
best.
get to this next question from the mayor. So he calls himself the mayor, and his question is: if you were a wrestler, Jake, what would your gimmick be as a pro wrestler?
I'd be a heel for sure. Heel for sure. 110%.
May character ba? May specific character ba yung pagka-heel mo?
I don't
Like,
know.
are you like an actor? Like
I don't
The
know.
Miz,
For me,
Hollywood?
No. I always found it so fun when it was like a staple, like the Outsiders, or like when DX was in there. Like they just made wrestling so fun. And then the thing is with them at that time, they made that crossover to pop culture. Like they were cool. Like people outside wrestling were thinking that their music was cool, their clothes were cool, everyone wanted to be them. That I think is what's missing with wrestling now. When I see even the clothes of the wrestlers now, even the music, it wasn't as trendy as it was back then. Because back then, like Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, all of them, they were like they were the coolest guys. Like, you wanted to be them for sure. But I did. At least I did for sure.
You talked about stables just now. If you could make your own fantasy stable of wrestlers from any era and you put them all together to create a super group, who would be in it?
Man. Ooh. Well, they tried, right? When NWO went to NWO went to WWE, they
Yeah.
tried to make that mix. But parang I don't know. It had missing pieces. But like for me, I wonder. Like